So this is in your volume 2 book, M39. I'm going to do these problems down here. There's just not enough room, so we're going to do 2A and B and then 4A and B, but there's just not enough room, so that's why you're going to see me writing those problems on regular paper. So this is solving equations with variables on both sides. So for my class, or for me, the best thing, or the thing that always helps me know where to start, is I like to circle my variables. So if I circle my variables, you should notice that there's a variable on the left side of the equation and the right side of the equation. And if I bring that down, notice they're on opposite sides. So if they are on opposite sides, if variables are on, uh-oh, my pen's going out, opposite sides, you're going to have to do opposite operation. So we have done, sorry, that's really hard to see, maybe if I go over it in orange. We have done combining like terms, but these ones, since they're on opposite sides, you cannot just combine them. You're going to have to do the opposite to them. Man, I really wish my pink would work. Let me see if I can find another one. Sorry, hopefully that wasn't too loud in your ear. Let's see if I can find another pink really quick. Okay, here's another one. So then, when you look at this, we have x and we have 5x. So since they're on opposite sides, you're going to move one of them. I like to move the smaller. Oh good, that one's not working either. I like to move the smaller. And it's just a preference thing because I don't like dealing with negatives. So we have x and we have 5x. Notice it's x minus 6. The x is positive, so I'm going to subtract x from this side and subtract x from this side. Well, x minus x cancels. And then if you think about, if you have 5 x's or $5 or 5 apples, and I take an x away, or if I take 1x away, well, 5 minus 1 is just 4x. Bring down your plus 10, bring down your equals, and make sure you bring down the negative with that. And then you're just going to solve like we have been doing. So we have 4x plus 10. Again, I like circling the variable. I know that I want to get this by itself. You don't want to move it again, so you're going to move the 10 because the 4x is what we want to get by itself. So then it's 4x plus 10. So the opposite of add 10, we have to do the opposite sign because it's going to the opposite side. So the opposite of add 10 is subtract 10. 10 minus 10 cancels. Negative 6 minus 10. So if I owed you $6 and now I owe you 10 more, I owe you a total of $16. Sorry, you can probably hear my son talking in the background. So then if you look at that, you can also type it in a calculator. So if I type it in a calculator, we have 6, which is negative, minus 10, which is negative 16. Okay, the next step that we're going to do is we have 4 times x. So what's the opposite of multiply by 4? It's to divide by 4. And divide by 4. So we're going to take that answer that we have and divide by 4, and you get negative 4. Sorry, you can see a ton of scratches on my phone from my kids. So you would find your answer or solution to be -4 equals x. Again, we took it step by step. We did the opposite of that to move it to the opposite side. We wanted to get the 10 off of the side with the variable, so we subtracted 10, got our answer. So it was 4 times x. The opposite of 4 times x is to divide by 4 and divide by 4, which gave us -4 as our answer. All right, let's do another one. So if we look at that problem, we have 2x minus 7 equals -5x plus 14. So I'm going to again circle my variable. I think I found a pink that actually works. So same thing as above. If the variables are on opposite sides, do the opposite operation. Draw a line for your equal sign. Notice these are on opposite sides. So we're going to have to do the opposite. Remember I said I'd like to move the smaller? Well, this 5 is negative. I don't like dealing with negatives. If I move this 2 over here, it's going to still be a negative because it'd be minus 2x. But if I move this 5, instead of subtract 5x and I add 5x, that would cancel. If I add 5x over here, notice now we have 2 plus 5, which is a positive number. I just don't like dealing with negatives, so that's why you'll see me try to get rid of negatives as often as I can. So 2x plus 5x. So if I have 2 apples and I have 5 more apples, 2 plus 5 is 7x. Notice I didn't do that, add the 5x to the 7 because there's no x on the 7. So then just bring down what is left and bring down the 14. Okay, again, sorry, hopefully that wasn't loud clicking that pen. Circle your variable. I want to get this variable by itself, so instead of subtract 7, I'm going to add 7, because I've got to move it to the opposite side. Add 7 to 14. 14 plus 7, so 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Bring down your equal sign, bring down the 7x. Okay, I'm going to use purple. Okay, so we have 7x equals 21. So again, a number and a variable right next to each other is multiply. The opposite of multiply is divide. So I'm going to divide by 7 and divide by 7. Those 7's cancel, leaving me an x. 21 divided by 7, no judgment from me, use a calculator if you need to. 21 divided by 7 is 3. So x equals 3. Okay. This next one right here, this is for it's a little bit different, or sorry. Anyways, I did change this problem just a little bit. I wanted it to have a distribute. So if you look at this problem, notice if I circle the variable, oops, I wanted to use pink again. So if I circle the variable and I circle the variable, notice there is a parentheses on this x. So, or in front of this x. So we have to get rid of parentheses first. So remember, to do that you distribute. Hopefully you took notes from that stuff, from distributive. So I'm going to multiply 2 times x, which is 2x. I'm going to multiply 2 times 5. 2 times 5 is 10. Since it's plus 5, I'm going to put plus 10. Bring down your equal, bring down your -4x, and bring down your 8. Don't miss that negative right there. Okay, circle your variable. Well, there's two of them. That purple is kind of hard to tell the difference between the pink. So we have 2x and we have negative 4x. They are on opposite sides. This is the smaller number because it's negative 4 and it's smaller than 2. Or I like to get rid of the negative, so instead of subtract 4x, I'm going to add 4x because it's moving to the opposite side. So then you have 8 equals, if I have 2 apples and you give me 4 more apples, I now have 6 apples plus 10. Okay. Circle your variable again. I know it seems like we circle them forever, but you do it until it gets by itself. That's why we keep doing it. So then we have plus 10. So we're going to subtract 10 and subtract 10. 8 minus 10. So if I give you $8, but I owed you $10, I still owe $2. Or, use the calculator, 8 minus 10 is negative 2. Bring down your 6x. Okay, so we have negative 2 equals 6x. So it's 6 times x. The opposite of multiply by 6 is divide by 6 and divide by 6. 6 divided by 6 cancels. So then let's type this one in. We have 2, or a negative 2, so remember hit 2 and then change it to the negative, and then divide by 6 is negative 0.33 equals x. Or, if we have negative 2, 6, we need to reduce that. So remember, 2 goes into both of those. 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So negative 1/3. Or you can check to make sure that this fraction is equivalent to this decimal. So I'm going to do 1, or negative 1, and then divided by 3 is the same decimal. So remember, you must reduce if you're going to leave it as a fraction. If you're going to round it, give at least 2 decimals, or if whatever it tells you to give. Okay, I'm not going to actually do that next problem just because we're already at 13 minutes and I don't want to get too much longer. Okay, let me know if you need help.